can't do it.
Okay.
We'll do it live.
Okay.
Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
LegacyMaker, the All Sports Network, presents a SIRTOBA media production where the struggle is real to be awesome.
5, 4, 3, 2.
The wait is over.
So you're giving it to Dale Earnhardt Jr. because he piggybacked off of his dad's name. The
Because
only
he
difference is
didn't-
because there was a junior at the end and not a
Yes,
senior.
yes, and
Okay.
because the fact is, Drew, point with, oh my God,
I had Miami Heat winning last night. I was upset too when they lost. This with you because of the fact of what you.
Get your popcorn ready. It's time for the In or Out sports debate with your hosts,
Chris Dietz,
Joey Raymond,
and Drew Willingham.
Hello, everyone. We are live for episode 90 of the In or Out Sports Debate. I'm your host, Drew Willingham, along with this week's special returning panelist, along with an all-new special panelist that we have this week. And for him being a 16-time Vault of Fame inductee, I have to give him this special music right here. Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the current 16-time Vault of Fame inductee. He is a Virginia Tech alumni. He has also become a recent contributor of my alma mater, the LegacyMaker Sports Network. Please welcome my man, my fellow former Geek Squad brother, as I am a sleeper agent. Welcome, my man, Joey Raymond.
let's go!
16-time Vault of Fame inductee, my man. All right, guys, and now we have to induct a real American to the show. Get ready. This man, this man right here is the part of the Fifth Down Sports Show, the man, the myth, and the legend of the Fifth Down Sports Show. He is part of Snowman Multimedia as well as part of Snowman in the Morning, as he has a Photo Week segment on there. Please welcome a guy who's about to rip Joseph a new one when it comes to hockey. Please welcome the man, myth, and legend, Chris Dietz. Look at the natural flowing locks right there, Dietz.
Gotta let the lock flow. Glad to be here. You know, Joey, I got to pound you 17 times. Let's get it going. But I gotta say, this is my first time. So in my first time being here, you know, it's like me coming up to bat. Drew is throwing 98-mile-an-hour fastballs. He's throwing them down. I'm fouling them off. All of a sudden, Drew throws that 80-footer that goes all the way to the backstop. Runner goes to second. I come up, I swing, I hit a nice dribbler down the first baseline. Joey comes over to field it. The ball gets by Joey. Knight rounds second, Knight rounds third, and the Fifth Down wins the championship.
You're pulling a Buckner on me? All right,
No,
I see ya.
You're pulling the Buckner, sir.
If that
I'm
happened,
pulling the number one Mookie Wilson. Number one.
in moments like that, that's when I got to pull.
I think I got my swagger back. Oh.
Because that's where it is. We are fired off at the hip here for episode 90 of the In or Out Sports Debate. Welcome here, there, Dietz, as we have got a jam-packed show in store for our fans here today. But as we do at the beginning of every single episode, we have to start it off with the acknowledgement of the Vault of Fame.
acknowledge me.
man, you took me back. This is why this show was so important, and this is why I am personally validating and vouching for this show. If you are anybody in media, sports, professional wrestling, anything, you need to be on In or Out Sports Debate with my man Drew Willingham, because this has got to be one of the most fun things I've ever done in a long time.
That right there is the NRL Sports Debate Vault of Fame, which you could find on the Legacy Maker Sports Network on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, and the TikTok channel. And the latest in sports coverage at LegacyMakerSports.com. You can also find the NRL Sports Debate on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and Twitch, as well as the audio platforms on Apple and Google Podcast, Spotify, Amazon Prime, Anchor.fm, and you can download these episodes individually on iTunes. SIRTOBA Media, where the struggle is real to be awesome. You can find on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube coming soon, and the latest in this video production, latest progress in SIRTOBA.com. We are at episode 90 of the In or Out Sports Debate as we have Joey Raymond and Chris Dietz here for 5 great rounds of this episode. Let's go ahead and take this and get it started with round 1 and see what we got in store for this one.
Round 1.
And here with round 1, the New York Jets will fail to close a deal with the Packers, and Aaron Rodgers will play elsewhere this upcoming season. How do you feel about this one, Dietz? Let's start off with you. Do you agree with this one at hand? Are you in or are you out on this one?
I'm out. As of 18 hours ago, my sources tell me that the Green Bay Packers and the New York Jets are as close to a deal as they can be. The only stipulation that's holding up the deal, they're set on draft picks. What they're trying to work out is compensation, which is basically if Aaron Rodgers plays a certain amount of games, if he does a certain, and it's not even if he plays a certain amount of games, it's if Aaron Rodgers will stick around for the 24 season. And they're trying to work that out. If he stays, what do the Jets give the Packers? And if he retires after this season, what do the Packers give to the Jets? So that's what's holding this deal up. And according to the sources that I have, that on draft night, this will be done on Thursday of the draft night.
How do you feel about this one, Joey? Do you agree with Dietz here? Are you out or are you in on this one?
Yeah, no, I agree with Dietz. I'm out. The one thing I do disagree on is I don't think it's going to get done on draft night because of the fact that Aaron Rodgers' cap hit will drop drastically come June 1st. And I think what's going to happen ultimately, like he said, it's all about compensation. It's all about money. I've been hearing the same things too about, they pretty much agree on the draft picks part. It's just a matter of money and what Aaron Rodgers is going to get. On June 1st, his cap hit goes from 40 mil to 15 mil. And so I think they can kind of work in that. Because the other problem that the Jets are having right now is that their cap space, they only have roughly $10 million to work with. So they need Aaron Rodgers' cap hit to drop a little bit before they can add him to the roster. So I think it's going to be a little bit later than draft night. I feel like the Jets and the Packers pretty much have everything that they need as far as they got what they needed in free agency. The Packers need a few pieces here and there, but for the most part, I think that they're, pretty set in what they have. So I think it's just a matter of when, but this deal definitely gets done and we see Aaron Rodgers playing for the Jets for sure.
And I think the other part of that question is, he'll play for somebody else. Well, he's already said he wants to play for the Jets. The Jets have basically done everything this offseason has been done basically to bring Aaron Rodgers in. I mean, bringing Hackett as the offensive coordinator. They've signed 4 former players that he's played with. Everything the Jets have done this offseason points to we're bringing Aaron Rodgers in. Also, you look at I've seen this and it just came up in the chat. I saw San Francisco was going to jump in. How is San Francisco going to? They have 3 total draft picks. If the Jets aren't offering enough, the 49ers ain't offering enough. So the Packers, there's nothing to satisfy there. So that's why I don't think he's playing anywhere else.
As much as I want to disagree with you guys in this first round, I have to agree. I'm out as well. I mean, I can't really say much more from what you guys said, except for the fact of there was recent workout footage of Aaron Rodgers with Alan Lazard, his former teammate in Green Bay, who's now with the New York Jets, who just signed a 4-year deal. So all the pieces are aligned for him to go to New York. Is just the picks back and forth, the conditional picks. Like, the biggest question is, will Aaron Rodgers play after this season? How many seasons will he contribute towards the New York Jets? Will it be 1? Will he give up after 1? Will it be 2? And if he plays more than 1, the Packers want to make sure they get enough compensation for it. So this smudgery back and forth of all this stuff is based upon the contingency of if he plays or not. So the alignment of the contract basically just has to basically reflect what Aaron Rodgers contributes to the Jets this season for what Green Bay will be compensated with if it extends past 1 season or not. So it's interesting that we all were out on one subject for the first round. That's the way I wrote it. I was like, I didn't know if somebody would go for it or not, but that's just how it worked out for the round 1.
Now, I do have a question, though, to kind of rebuttal this. Do you think that Aaron Rodgers kind of goes into this maybe unknowing, and then depending on the Jets' success, maybe he plays another year, or do you guys think he's going to make that decision whether he plays multiple years or not before this trade goes through?
There's been comparisons to Brett Favre with the deal that was made because he was traded to the Jets before he ultimately signed with the Vikings for those last 2 seasons, and that last one being a horrific one. So I'm hoping that Aaron Rodgers doesn't go out like Brett Favre did, because that was just embarrassing for that last season. But when it comes to this deal with the Jets, I think that if he goes 8-8 like Brett Favre did, or better. Well, he can't even go 8-8 anymore. There's an extra game. So if he goes 9-8, it depends on if they make the playoffs and what type of run they make. If they go and they get embarrassed the first round or don't even make the playoffs, he doesn't want to be a part of something that's rebuilding. He wants to be a part of something that's built for now. And that's what the Jets have done this offseason, is to build something for now. So if they don't get there, it's going to be a result of lack of something, whether it's production based on the player, content around him, or if it's the actual coaching that has anything to do with it. And Hackett already proved that he can't hack it as a head coach. And Aaron Rodgers loves him as his offensive coordinator. So we'll see how that pans out. Different city, different vibes, different opportunities. We'll have to see how it pans out for this round 1 topic here in the next.
Well, that's my thing about the Jets and making this move. And I've said it on Fifth Down all the time. Even if the Jets make this move, even if they make the move to get Aaron Rodgers, what does that do for the Jets? I mean, when you look at the Jets if they make this move, when they make this move down the road, we're going to look at this and go, well, where do they stack up in the AFC East? I mean, does this vault them over Miami? Does this vault them over New England? It's not vaulting them over Buffalo.
Yeah.
As far as the roster goes, I've watched people play. I watched the Red Sox have to get over that hump of beating the Yankees eventually. It's been 14 straight times until the Jets actually beat the Patriots on the field. I'm not going to sit here and say the Jets are ahead of the Patriots until that happens on the field. So they make this trade, and everybody's going to go, oh, my God, we got Aaron Rodgers. Okay, Jets, what does this do for you? I akin this to Russell Wilson last year. Everybody said, oh, my God, the Broncos are going to – they made this awesome trade. It's going to make the Broncos so much better. And I was like, the Broncos are still the 4th best team in that league. That's where the Jets are still going to sit.
And we'll see how it pans out. I mean, I like the Jets with Aaron Rodgers over what the question mark is with the Patriots right now, because, Mac Jones, his mac and cheese, has gotten all this, all this shade thrown at him during the offseason. And we'll have to see how that pans out for the quarterback position during what happens with the draft and the rest of their offseason moves, because that's still a big question mark in New England. But guys, let us know how you feel in the comments. We'll acknowledge them here at the midway point and the end of the show as well. But we're going to go ahead and carry this into round 2 and see what we have in store for that one.
Round 2.
And here for round 2, the LA Angels will trade away Shohei Ohtani this season. How do you guys feel about this one right here? We'll start with you on this one, Joey. Do you agree with the statement at hand? Are you in or are you out on this one?
I'm out. Reason being is because I don't think anybody in their right mind would pay a king's ransom for Shohei Ohtani when he's a rental. You're going to have to pretty much give away your entire baseball team to get Shohei away from the Angels. For starters, the owner of the Angels has said that he's not going to trade Ohtani if they're making a playoff push, which looking at the team as it sits right now, I feel like they could. But even if they don't, the amount that it's going to take to pull Shohei away from the Angels when they have said over and over and over again that they would like to re-sign him, I don't think it's going to happen. The Angels love Shohei. Shohei he does want to play for a contender, but it's not like he's ever come out and said that he hates playing in Los Angeles. So I don't think that Shohei is going to get traded this season. I just don't. The price is going to be way too high for anybody to even consider that.
Okay. How do you feel about this, Dietz? Do you agree with Joey on this one, or are you in or are you out?
I'm out. I'm out as well. And I agree with Joey. I saw that Tom Verducci report that the owner said we're not trading them unless and he didn't say unless we're out of it. He said when we're out of it, we will address it then. And I don't think by the trade deadline the Angels will be out of anything. But also, if he leaves the LA Angels, that's a bad look for baseball. Because the LA Angels have a 20-year, $3 billion with a B, $3 billion TV contract. Now, I did the math on this, Drew. I did the math. I pumped it into my calculator, 20 years divided by $3 billion. And my calculator came back with, that's a blank ton of money. That's all it said. So the Angels have more money than anybody else in baseball. If he doesn't want to re-sign there because they can't win a championship, well, I'm sure an extra $20-30 million. I'm sure that will cure his unwanting to play there real quick.
I mean, it sure cured Mike Trout's.
Yeah. Guys, you throw some great points at this, but for the sake of somebody's got to disagree with somebody in this show, and I'm going to take the heat on this one. I'm going in. You know why I'm going in? Because when you look at the past few seasons by the Angels, last year they were 73-89 and finished third in the AL West. The year before that, they were 77-85 and finished fourth in the AL West. And the year before that, they were COVID year stricken, but they were 26-34 when you look at their record then. And it wasn't much better the year before that, as they were 72-90 the year before that and in fourth place. This is a trend that's been going back since when Shohei started. They have not been able to make a playoff run yet, and they are 4-3 to start this season now. And you guys will tell me they're going to hold out, wait for it to get better. That's like somebody like staring in my face right now doing this. Because it's not happening. Like it's not going to happen when they make this push that you think there's going to be some type of a playoff push this season. This Shohei Ohtani is going to end up sticking around and signing. There's going to be a team out there that's going to be knocking on this team's door in about 2, maybe 3 months from now. It might take around the All-Star break and getting close to the trade deadline. The Yankees are going to be knocking on that door, whether we want to acknowledge it or not. The Yankees are going to be acknowledging on the Dodgers are going to be knocking on the door. I wish that the Atlanta Braves would knock on the door, as I am a homer for that team. Okay. But they're not going to. But it's going to take a team with a lot of capital to be able to give the Angels something that they could use after this season, whether it's prospects, draft picks. capital, whatever the case may be. They are going to, and we're going to look back on this. This is only April 8th. We're at the beginning of the baseball season for 2023. And I'm telling you, within the next 2 to 3 months, it could be the Dodgers, it could be the Yankees, it could be the Astros, it could be whoever, because they got the capital now. It could be any team out there. And it's possible, Dietz. I'm just saying. That's why I've got to go in.
The problem with both teams that you brought up, with the Braves and the Yankees, the problem is with the Yankees, their prospects are playing right now. Their best prospects are on the roster right now. They're a part of what the Yankees are doing. So it's not like the Yankees are going to go, all right, let's get Shohei Ohtani in here and give up minor league prospects. If you're going to get the top prospects, you're going to be taking guys off the major league roster. Same thing with the Braves. The Braves are so young. Their guys are already up. Their guys are already in the dugout. So you're talking about giving up those kind of guys. The Dodgers, I don't see that. I don't see the Los Angeles Angels helping out the Los Angeles Dodgers.
They're different leagues. They're different leaks. So
but the battle for the city is real. I mean,
yeah, it is.
You give show. I mean, the Dodgers already won a championship. 2 years ago? You can't be giving the Dodgers another run at a championship. They win 2. The Angels will be, as much as they're an afterthought right now, they'll be even more of an afterthought because people will be like, I don't want to. It'll be like it's like rooting for the Lakers or the Clippers.
Judge, how do you feel about this one?
Nobody roots for the Clippers.
You being a partial fan of the Yankees, how do you feel about this one?
I'm gonna make a bold prediction right here, right now.
Okay.
If big capital letters, if like we're talking like the bubble capital letters, right? That like you draw in elementary school. If Shohei gets traded, it's going to be to the Padres. And
you think he's going to the Padres after? Okay.
Here's the thing, because the Yankees have come out and said publicly that they don't want to make a deal like that. Because if they do, he has to agree to sign long-term, and Shohei already declined the Yankees twice. Like, he's not going to the Yankees, as much as I would love that. But I think that, like Dietz said, the Los Angeles rivalry is real, so he can't go to Los Angeles. He can't go to New York. He can't go to Los Angeles. Nobody else in baseball, short of the Padres and the Mets, would be even remotely close to trying to make that deal. And I think that because of the luxury tax situation with the Mets, I don't think that Mr. Daddy Cohen decides to go out and try to get a $500 million player on top of what he already has. I think that what that sticks, what that's going to stick to is that the Padres are the only team realistically left that, might make that deal work. And they have enough prospects to do it and enough capital to do it. They've shown that they could. But I don't think it's going to happen. It's
going to be interesting to see how that pans out with the rest of the next couple months going here in baseball, because there's a very good chance the Angels hang on to him, but you run the risk of not getting anything in return. Because if you keep producing what you've been producing over the past few seasons that he's been a part of since he came up to the major leagues from Japan, he's not going to want to continuously want to lose and give his best years to a losing team. He wants to win a championship, as everybody does who comes into the major leagues, and be put into the best position. And I'm just saying, a team with capital, and you bring up a good point with the Padres. I just feel like, even though I'm not a homer for the Yankees, I just have this strong feeling that they're going to make an absolute push, because that would be part of another addition to their legacy, as they had a pitcher/hitter in Babe Ruth, and Shohei's in way better shape than what Babe Ruth was, in a different style of baseball, as things are a lot more advanced nowadays. We're getting the best pure part of the game now because of all the changes that have been made to it.
Yeah, the only other team that I could see making a run, and only because of the fact that they have enough prospects to do it and enough capital under the luxury tax, would be the Chicago Cubs. And I don't think they're going to do it.
Yeah, because I mean, it's kind of like what so many stars of the past who have been traded. If you get traded now, and even though it does seem like a rental, but you have success during that rental, and you have an opportunity to build upon that and be a dynasty for years to come, then he'll get won over by the team, within those few months, and they can sign a long-term deal in the offseason. It's a gamble, but you have to for a generational talent like Shohei Ohtani is the way I'm going with it, guys. This is how I feel. But with that being said, we've gone through the first 2 rounds. Let us know in the comments how you feel about that, guys. We're going to go ahead and take it to a commercial break and see what we got in store for the commercials leading you on in. Ladies and gentlemen, the Sports Insights Unleashed is now available on Fridays, 1:05 p.m. Eastern Time on Snowman Multimedia. The first 16 episodes are now available there. Check it out there.
This episode of the In or Out Sports Debate is brought to you by Peanut Butter and Jealous. When you're feeling a little blue based on what others are doing around you, spread a little peanut butter and jealous on your sandwich to make yourself feel whole again.
There it is, guys. Peanut Butter's and Jealous. You could share it with a friend in the top right-hand corner. You could have it by yourself in the bottom right-hand corner. You could find it in the bottom right-hand corner of your cabinet. Pick it up, share it with yourself or your friend. Let us know how it makes you feel whole again. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode 90 of the In or Out Sports Debate. As we are here, gone through the first 2 rounds of this show. We got a few more left. Let's go ahead and see what we got in store for round 3.
Round 3.
Despite a slow start and numerous injuries already, the Phillies will win the NL East this season. We'll start this one off with you there, Dietz. How do you feel about this one? Are you in or are you out on this one?
I'm out for 3. First off, I'm a Mets fan, as I said with my Mookie Wilson, so you will never hear me say the words, the Phillies will win. You'll never hear those words. You will never hear those words come out of my mouth, for real. But that being said, the real reason is because the Phillies they turned it on last year in the playoffs, yet they're good in a 7-game series. We all know baseball is not a 7-game series. Baseball is a 162-game season. That doesn't bode well for the Phillies as far as winning this division. And the last 2 years, you got to give it to the Atlanta Braves. And we're talking to Joey as a 17-time. To be the man, you got to beat the man. So until they have a better record than the Atlanta Braves, I'm not backing the Phillies.
You called upon it. You called upon it. Dietz called upon the 16-time Vault of Fame inductee, Joey Raymond. Now it's Joey Raymond's time to rebut this one. How do you feel about this one? Do you agree with him on this one? Are you out or are you in on this one there, Joseph?
I do agree with Dietz. I'm out. Although, now that I know that Dietz is a Mets fan, that's going to make what I wrote in my notes even greater. So let's be real. The Phillies weren't going to win this division anyways. There is way too much talent in this division for the Phillies. The Phillies will be in third. I mean, they're the third best team in that division. I would say that the Braves are probably number one, the Mets are number two, and the Phillies are number three, and then there's 50 feet of crap, and then there's the rest of the teams in that division. So yeah, they weren't
saying the rest of the teams because you just don't want to mention the one other team in that division.
No, I mean,
it's only one left.
No, because you have the Marlins and the Nationals, and both of those teams are crap. I mean, they are just not good. So yeah, the Marlins are not good. The Nats are even worse. And so, yeah, the third place team, but no, what's going to happen with this division is you're going to have the Mets probably win the division. They'll make it into the first round of the playoffs, and then they will choke like they always do in typical Met fashion and get knocked out in the first round. That's probably what's going to happen. And the Braves will probably be the one to knock them out. It's just one of those things that it's what happens pretty much every year. The Braves will, lose out on the division by maybe half a game. And then, the Mets will get knocked out in the first round. It's the circle of life with baseball in the NL East.
Yeah, I'm a Mets fan. I'm a Mets fan, so I know that everything you just said is backwards. The Mets will lead the division all year long until the Braves come up in the last week and take it from them, and the Mets fall apart in the last week of the season. Then they end up winning the Mets get the wild card. They get it at home, and just look to last year. You go and play the Padres at home, and
well, I'm about to have this moment.
That was spoken by a true fan in pain right there.
I've seen it too much. I mean, the Mets will have a great season, and then all of a sudden you'll get to September and October, and half the team will be on the IL.
Yes, absolutely.
That always happens.
And for similar reasons to what these guys just said, we're going to all agree on this one. We're all out. There were certain things that Joseph was saying that caught my attention. That's why I was doing the Hulk Hogan. That's where partially Real American came about. But it also cued Dietz to give his rebuttal to what Joey was saying to allow me to get my opportunity to agree with these dudes right here. When you look at this motherfathering topic right here about the Philadelphia Phillies will win the motherfathering NL East, it is not going to happen. It is not going to happen. It's get amped up here, and I hope I don't have a heart attack because I'm getting really amped up here when talking about the Philadelphia Phillies winning the NL East. They got in there as the second wild card last year, and it just happened to get hot when the other teams were cooling off. They just happened to take advantage of what was going on in the moment. And yes, they did make some decent moves in the offseason, but not as good as what the Mets and the Braves made. Okay, and you look at this league right here, and we're not even going to count the Nationals because they are absolutely pathetic ever since they won their World Series. They have been really taking a dump ever since that moment. That was the highest peak we may ever see that franchise be at. They are definitely at the circulum of what Washington, D.C. sports is all about, except the D.C. Defenders, but we'll save that for later. Okay, so when you look at all of this happening for this entire NL East, in the Phillies taking this division right here? No, because whether it's injuries, whether it's some terrible play, because it's going to happen at some point because they happen to drop the ball at some point. And you look at the Braves pitching and you look at their offense as well. Mainly their pitching. Their pitching is what's been dominant over the past few seasons, especially with their recent World Series victory the year before last. Phillies did make it to the dance last year, but like I said, it was on a hope and a whim. There is no way in motherfucking it's not happening. It is not happening. I'm sorry.
The best thing about the NL East is the Marlins have the reigning Cy Young Award winner, and they played the Mets on opening day, and they showed his stats from last year. And the reigning Cy Young Award winner with the Marlins could only get 15 wins.
Wow.
The worst stat I've ever seen. I was like, they're talking about him as a Cy Young Award. I'm like, oh, he must have won 20 games. He's like 15-13.
That reminds me of the year that Felix Hernandez won it at 13-12 for the Mariners because the Mariners couldn't score any runs.
Absolutely. It reminds me of that as well. I definitely feel you on that one. Guys, let us know in the comments how you feel about these first 3 rounds. It's time to acknowledge the comments from the fans as we head into the medial mayhem. And at the midway point of the show and at the end of the show, we definitely acknowledge the comments of the fans, get a little back and forth with them. Thank you all for being here. As we started off with Mr. McCoffey from the Snowman in the Morning crew, as he's part of Snowman's army. The progression of Drew's hair and beard in the intro is a sight to behold. It really is. It really is. Thank you for that there, Mr. McCoffey, because definitely
and no credentials required.
Yeah, it's still the hair is out to here now or whatever. Like
we got to throw that out for Ron.
Holy crap! Yeah, it is long. Yeah, it is. It's long. Yeah, it's pretty damn long, guys. I've let it grow for quite some time. So yeah, and Dietz.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Dietz and I. This is the first time on my show I've had a hair pulling contest. This was yeah. So that's basically what we got going on right now. Dietz and I are comparing our long hair. I got called a Viking the other day. I also got called oversized Jesus. When I worked at Geek Squad, I was Geek Squad Jesus until I recently left the company after 6 years. So yes, that's just how it's been. So thank you, Mr. McCoffey, for those comments right there. Ow, says Cole Johnson of Cole Sports with a Z, as well as Cole Johnson of Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. Have a great show, says Mr. Bish. Michael Bish, a 3-time Vault of Fame inductee, is here to drop in. So thank you for being here, Mr. Bish, as well. Chris Dietz, a.k.a. Palpatine, with the intro.
You say Palpatine,
Palpatine, man.
Star Wars, bro.
The Emperor.
I fathered up, okay? I fathered up. All right. I was a dad joke. All right, my bad. Yo, what's up, fellas? Says Ike doesn't give a fuck. He's in the house. Ike is here. The biggest.
Are we really addressing? We're not addressing Ike until he changed. I gave you the picture, Drew. I sent you the picture.
I did, but I don't know Ike personally. Like, he is literally a troll that shows up and comments on the show periodically. But because of his name, he has to stick around. Doesn't give a fuck. Come on,
well, that's why I'm telling Ike right now. Hit up Drew. Drew has the picture. You can hit me up. I'll send you the picture. I have it.
Ike,
I'm telling you, puberty Ike is the way to go.
Since D just throwing me out there, you can hit me up here at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter right here. There, Ike doesn't give a fuck. Hit me up there as well to if you want to get this picture and we can know who you really are out there in these streets. Comments keep on rolling as we got some more to acknowledge. Cole Sports says the Jets better pray to the Lord that another team doesn't take Aaron Rodgers off their hands. Dietz, how do you feel about this one?
I think they're. Like I said, I don't think this does anything for the Jets. So if another team takes Aaron Rodgers, the Jets fans, you're dodging a bullet if another team takes him. But if not, you're going to take Aaron Rodgers. You're going to take that contract, and I don't think it changes anything for next year.
Yeah,
I'm not sold on the Jets right now.
We'll see how it goes.
And that's why I think they're going to wait until June 1st because neither of them it doesn't affect either franchise right now. So the only thing that it really affects is the draft picks, of which you could still get next year's equivalent in draft picks. So like, why it doesn't really matter. The only thing that matters is the money, and his cap hit goes from 40 to 15 on June 1st. So why would you rush that when you could wait until June 1st and then take the lesser cap hit? That's all I'm saying.
No facts. Definitely support that as well. Sports Illustrated is reporting that the 49ers want to sign him. I don't believe it. The Packers should be stuck with the prima donna. There's the hatred for Aaron Rodgers right there from Cole Sports.
They're not going to let him. They're not going to let him go. And that's one of the if this trade blows up and the sides can't come together, this is going to be Barry Sanders all over again.
Absolutely.
When Barry Sanders tried to work his way down to Miami, and Detroit said, no, we're not doing it. And he was forced to retire. That's the only thing that Aaron Rodgers can do is retire. Because the Packers they're not going to just let him go and let him sign with somebody else. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, or they'll just trade. Yeah, there's like a no trade clause in there to where Aaron Rodgers has to accept it. So it's basically he's accepted the Jets, but the Packers are giving a hard time on what they're going to receive conditionally, because there has to be conditional picks if he plays more than one season, because there's no guarantee with what he just did with having to go into a cave in the darkness for 4 days to figure out what father he was going to do to come back or not. Mickey Delaney is here and says, hi, everyone. Cole Sports says, I'm in. He needs to retire. Yes, absolutely. Cole Sports says, Lazard and Rodgers looking like Apollo Creed and Rocky in that picture.
Of course, talking about in the training picture, when Apollo and Rocky are on the beach in Rocky 4.
Absolutely. Please make this trade already. Hashtag go Pat go. Darrell, my man, Darrell Owens, the legendary Green Bay Packers fan, definitely wants this trade just to go ahead and happen already. Start anew and just go ahead and bring in Jordan Love and make it happen and see how it goes, because this has been so much drama circling around that team throughout the offseason. He's just ready for it to go away, and I don't blame you on that one, Darrell. The New York Jets should not kiss Aaron's blank. I'm not even going to say it because I'm trying my best out here in these streets. Mickey, come on now. Do your best to not cuss out here in these streets. Drew, Joey, and Dietz, have a great show, says Dio. Thank you, man.
Sir.
We appreciate it. Definitely are so far. Drew, your comment boss is here. Okay. Oh, yeah, because Mickey is, ever since last night, we kind of dubbed him the comment boss. So, we'll see how he does.
Bring him on.
Comment boss. You're on trial there, my man. It's a win now mentally with the Jets. The rebuilding is over. It's proven they can't win with a certain quarterback who likes Cougars. And I don't mean the BYU kind.
Oh, God.
That was a good one. That was a good one for Zach Wilson. That was definitely good. Ryan McCoffey coming in big here in the comments right there. The Angels love Ohtani. There is no way he's leaving there. I agree. I want to agree, but at the same time, I had to give my argument, Cole Johnson. I had to just start arguing at some point in the show, and that was my first opener. I could really start letting it loose, and that's where I started with that comment. The Angels are in a division with the Astros, Mariners, and surprisingly, the Rangers. There's the surprising Rangers. They are going to have a lot to overcome if they're going to make the playoffs. How do you feel about that with what Ryan McCarthy said there, Joey?
I agree. They do have a lot. The Astros are a really well-built overall team. The Mariners are a really good, well-built overall team. You know how I feel about Julio Rodriguez. I love that dude. And then the Rangers, they went out and spent more money than I thought they would.
That's because most of it went to DeGrom.
Yeah, you're right. I did not think that they would go get DeGrom. I genuinely thought that DeGrom was going to stay in New York. It really kind of felt like he was going to, and then I wake up the next morning and boom, he's in Texas.
And that was the best thing. That was the best thing about. I'll say something nice about the Phillies since we trashed them before. I'll say something nice about the Phillies. The greatest thing about the Phillies was opening day. They trashed DeGrom. And they still lost the game.
Yes, absolutely.
They did everything right. Everything right. They trashed DeGrom. I was happy about that. And they still lose.
Every time that I read an Angels headline, it's like, Mike Trout hit 2 home runs. Shohei Ohtani, daggum took a no-hitter into the 7th inning as the Angels lose by like 5.
But I was looking at it before. The Angels did play the A's and the Mariners in their first 2 series, and they won those series. So they started off pretty good in their division. So
right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, it's just interesting that that division is deep. I mean, and I would argue that with the players that are in there, minus like the NL East, because I think the NL East has the most talent in Major League Baseball. I would say that division probably is number 2 for most talent in baseball. I mean, there's a lot of really good baseball players in that division.
I'd have to agree with that.
I think the Devil Rays are bucking that trend right now. They're trying to get themselves in there.
Yeah,
what the Rays are doing is insane.
I missed that name, the Devil Rays.
They're still undefeated. 8-0. 8-0. They beat the Athletics 11-0 today. That's
insane.
It's crazy. It is absolutely insane. Like,
this was
I don't think anybody thought that was going to happen.
8-0, and they're just trying to catch up to how many people actually show up to their ballpark.
No, you're absolutely right. Absolutely right.
I saw the craziest stat the other day that on AAA opening day, that there were 13 AAA teams that had a higher attendance than the Oakland Athletics.
That's sad. That is absolutely sad when you have that many AAA teams that are outselling the Oakland A's.
That's almost half. That is almost half.
It's mother, father, and terrible.
AAA teams.
Let's move forward with the next comment. As Cole Sports says, the D. Willie in the evening video is nice. Well, thank you, Cole Johnson, coming from someone who is a legend at transitions like yourself. Let's go ahead and give it to him one more time. There it is. Thank you, Cole Johnson, for the shout out for that one. Ryan McCoffey comes back with Braves, Mets, Phillies, 50 feet of poop dirt, Marlins, bad news Bears, and the Nationals is how that division rounds out in the standings. I love it. Good evening, gentlemen. Stuck in My Mind podcast. Wise El Jefe.
Welcome, Wise.
Yes, sir. He's a one-time Vault of Fame inductee as well. With episode 37, he was here. Welcome back there, Wise El Jefe. Drew, stay in your lane. Phillies making the playoffs, says Mickey Delaney. Well, I didn't say they weren't making the playoffs there, Mick. I said they weren't winning the division. Okay. They can come back in as there is still 2 wild card spots open. There's 3. There's 3 wild card spots open. There was a chance for the entirety of them to make it in there, but instead, we'll see what happens this season. So Mick giving it to me here in the comments on Facebook. DeGrom didn't win 20 games when he was a Cy Young, says Wazel Jefe. He's got a point there, guys.
Yeah, but he also won what, 16? I think it was 16-8 his Cy Young year.
Yeah, and he had an ERA that was less than 1.
Yeah, absolutely, he did.
Ridiculous.
Snowman's in the house. Mother half of my sensei right here. In that rendition that you guys saw in the last commercial break, that was Hey from the Snowman, my sports sensei right there. Snowman is here. You most definitely are. Ike, remember stay. Oh, wow. You got to take that off of there. I can't believe that even they usually get censored out. There you Mick, you got to, if you're going to be the comment police, you can't be saying those kind of words in the text frame there, my man. This edition of
God.
Oh, God, here we go. I'm looking forward to this. All right, hang on. It's Palpatine. All right. Just wanted to make sure I didn't say it wrong. I practiced it one time. I'm going to try it again right now. This edition of the Inter-House Sports Debate is brought to you by Palpatine Hypnotist Clinics. for the best teachers in Jedi mind tricks. Trust in Palpatine Hypnosis Clinics. That was a lot to say in one. Palpatine Hypnosis Clinics. Yeah, it's tough. You caught me right there, tongue twister, Ryan McCarthy. Good job for getting.
Good job, Ryan. It would be Sith mind tricks. Palpatine don't teach Jedi's.
Still, it still got me out here in these streets.
This one makes no sense. And as Snowman, I'm going to quote Snowman here. And I found the lie. You don't have Brock Purdy next year because he's having Tommy John surgery.
So basically, you saw what Snowman said and said this.
Hell to the no, to the no, 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 no. Hell no, no, to the no, no.
You know, that's kind of, Snowman, I feel like the comment here is almost as bad as the work done by this police officer in this stop right here.
You're tripping about the whole situation. Let me get my husband on the line.
Okay.
321, 325. 325. I got one.
Come on, Snowman. You got to get better with your selection out here. The 49ers have their man with Brock Purdy. How would it feel if the 49ers ended up with Aaron Rodgers? Because that's like 1B. We got 1A of the Jets, but that didn't work out. The potential of him to go to the 49ers. But they'd have to give up a lot. And the team might not look the same with Aaron Rodgers' pieces that would have to leave from the 49ers to go to that team. So, I don't know. Let's see what else they got left here in the comments before we go further in the show. Please retire Aaron Rodgers. You need to go. And some people agree with what you're saying, but some people would tell you this, no matter.
You're fired.
Because Aaron Rodgers still has stuff left in the tank. You may not like him as a person, but you have to give him a chance at the quarterback position for a different team. It is not over yet for old quarterback 12. When was the last time the A's had a sellout crowd?
So I just did a Google to answer his question. And according to Major League Baseball, the last Oakland Athletics sellout was July 21st of 2018.
Wow. It's been almost 5 years since the last time they had a sellout crowd. And I wonder what the occasion was for that, what type of bobblehead they were giving away that night for that one.
Yeah, it doesn't specify, but yeah, it does say that was the last time that they did a sellout.
Ryan McCarthy says, yeah, they're 8-0 because the teams they've been playing are trash.
I mean, you're not wrong, but 8-0 is still impressive.
8-0 is still 8-0. Like, I don't care who you play.
Teams just need to be able to the teams that they've been playing just need to be able to do this.
You can't handle the truth.
Because that's basically they are trash. They got to handle the truth.
But the thing is like, A, these guys are still major leaguers, and B, it's not like that they've played close games. They have absolutely demolished their competition in just about every single game that they have played. They are straight destroying their competition.
And it's not like the Rays are that great of a team, are that great of a roster either. They're basically all unknown guys, and they're doing this.
Absolutely. Please refrain from the bad words, guys, says my man Snowman. Thank you very much for getting after Mick. And Mick says, sorry. That's your one strike there, Mick. I'll give you one. All right. We're playing baseball here. I don't want you to strike out.
Mickey's big on these lanes.
Like, he is. Yeah. He's big on the lanes, but I appreciate him at the same time. But just stay in yours, my man. And we got you. We're gonna have fun out here together, out here in these streets. We do it together as a team out here.
There's no jersey wearing.
He's telling Snowman staying his lane. Come on, Mick. Come on, Mick. Salute to Ryan McCarthy at Stuck in My Mind podcast and Cole Sports. Snowman, we appreciate the solutions out here in these comments. And he says Trey so many times that I cannot repeat that at this moment. But I will show you here with the comment. Guys, thank you for the comments. Keep them coming, and we'll acknowledge them here at the end of the show. We still have 2 more rounds to get through. Let's go ahead and take this to the round 4 by the number segment and see what we got in store for that one.
Round 4.
And here with round 4, JEVON Kearse is the greatest athlete to ever wear the number 90 in all of sports history. Start this one off with Joey. How do you feel about this one? Do you agree with the statement at hand? Are you in or are you out on this one?
This one was kind of tough for me, but I'm going to go with out. So my thing is I actually went with Julius Peppers. I think that to me, for me, it was really entertaining to watch him play. He was NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year in 2002. He was an first team All-Pro 3 times, 3 times second team All-Pro. Played in the Pro Bowl 9 times. He was on the NFL 2000s All-Decade team, 2010s All-Decade team. Won a ton of awards in college, has his number retired for North Carolina. He's a really great player, was really entertaining to watch. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Julius Peppers.
Joseph goes with Julius Peppers. How does Dietz feel about this one? Do you agree with this one at hand? Do you want to go with Julius Peppers? Or you?
I'm out. I'm out on JEVON Kearse.
Okay.
I'm out on JEVON Kearse because you look at the position that JEVON Kearse played. He played defensive end. How do we rate defensive ends? By sacking the quarterback. He had 74.5 sacks in his career. Julius Peppers had 175. Enough said. But to extend upon what the question was, the statement was JEVON Kearse is the greatest athlete to ever wear number 90. Julius Peppers not only was a great football player, he was also a college basketball player at the University of North Carolina, where it means something to be on the basketball team. He was that good. When you sent me this and you sent me that it was going to be show number 90, immediately my thought was, oh, it's Julius Peppers. It's not even close.
So you two are both going with Julius Peppers.
But I'll go even further with number 90. You know, you can go way back in the day, and look, we go to defensive ends, but there was a guy in Kansas City. His name was Derek Thomas. Derek Thomas was really good because there was a dude on the other side, number 90, Neil Smith, that got after the quarterback as well. And he went on to win championships in Denver. So yep. Neil Smith is a legacy 90. If Julius Peppers wasn't there, I'd be going with Neil Smith. You got guys like B.J. Raji that wore number 90. You have some other guys. Hold on. I had a whole list of guys that would go above. You have the 5 when he had 5 fingers. Jason Pierre-Paul would have been on this list. JPP came out like a bat out of hell, and then note to the kids out there: don't play with fireworks.
Absolutely. So you both are out because you picked Julius Peppers at 90 over JEVON Kearse, pretty much.
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay. Well, I'm going to
Julius Peppers. But we have to say this: there is a guy that's coming that wears number 90, and it happens. I'm a Cowboys fan, so I'm going to do this. He plays for the black and gold. T.J. Watt.
Yeah, T.J. Watt. Yeah, that's another big one that could be coming here soon. Well, both of them, we're going to settle on the fact that they had said Julius Peppers, and Dietz's ramble on that he made. He mentioned the one that I picked because I was going to say Neil Smith. I'm out. And good thing in Dietz's ramble, he didn't give it all away because I was able to at least save some of my notes that I had said because in his ramble that he had, that Taco Bell ramble, I'll have to say for DC he had. I will have to say he played for the Kansas City Chiefs from 88 to 96. Then went to the Denver Broncos from 97 to 99 and cashed in with those 2 Super Bowls John Elway led that team to, but was a big part of that defense that helped keep them in the game as well. This man was a first-team All-Pro in 1993, a three-time second-team All-Pro within the years of 92, 95, and 97, a 6-time Pro Bowler in 91 to 95, as well as in 1997. He was an NFL forced fumbles co-leader in 1994, an NFL sack leader in 1993, part of the NFL 1990s All-Decade Team, as well as the Kansas City Chiefs Hall of Fame. And not to mention, in his collegiate career, he was an All-American in 1987. A great year, the year that I was born. Show my age a little bit. So that's all I have to say with this one. I have to give it to Neil Smith. JEVON Kearse was great. Julius Peppers was great. But when it comes to NFL championships, the Super Bowls, Neil Smith has 2 of them. And I have to give him the nod because of those 2 Super Bowls.
Now, if you had changed the question to the greatest nickname to wear the number 90, there's nothing better than the Freak. The Freak is a great nickname, especially for a defensive end.
Yeah, and TJ Watt, you had a great mention of him. If we have this conversation years from now, like 5 years from now, he could easily probably change this to where he is the best at 90.
And by the way, I have to correct you, Drew. You said Terrell Davis's name wrong. You mentioned some other guy. Terrell Davis led the Denver Broncos to the Super Bowls.
In maybe the first one, but the second one was all John Elway. When you look at the offensive production,
both years, back-to-back 2,000-yard rushing seasons.
During the season, but when you look at the actual Super Bowl and the playoff run in '98, like the second year that they won the second year of the 2, it was more John Elway in that one. But TD did help get them to the playoffs. But when you I remember that I've analyzed that one and had discussions about those 2 teams. And the first one, arguably, and leading up to the second one, yes, Terrell Davis did, but his injury started catching up with him during those playoffs. By the next year or 2, he was out of the league within the next 2 years. So he didn't have a prolonged career. Once we got into the new millennium, he was out of the league. So that's pretty much how it went for there. But I'll give it to you for the first Super Bowl, yes, for that one. With that one, I'll concede to that one. But guys, let us know in the comments how you feel about the best to wear 90. We're gonna go ahead and move this on into the final round. But before we do that, we're gonna take another commercial break. We're going to go see another part into our commercial break, a little bit of something different, a little bit of spiced up extra for the commercial break.
LegacyMaker, the All Sports Network, presents a SIRTOBA media production where the struggle is real to be awesome.
All right. I'm better than you. And you know it.
That right there is the Kayfabe Express. You can check out the first 6 episodes on the LegacyMaker Sports Network. Are now available. Go check them out when you get a chance if you are a wrestling fan.
This episode of the In or Out Sports Debate is brought to you by Peanut Butter and Jealous. When you're feeling a little blue based on what others are doing around you, spread a little peanut butter and jealous on your sandwich to make yourself feel whole again.
That's right. It's time for the second dose of Peanut Butter and Jealous of this show, episode 90. You can share it with a friend in the top right-hand corner. You can have it by yourself in the bottom mother, father, and right-hand corner. You can find it in the left, right, center, wherever in your mother, father, and cabinets. You can grab that Peanut Butter and Jealous, spread it on your sandwich to make yourself feel mother, father, and whole again. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back for episode 90 of the In or Out Sports Debate. We have one more round left to go, and that is the final round. Let's go ahead and see what we got in store for that one. I know Dietz is ready to give it to Joey on this one.
Final round.
And here in the final round, the Carolina Hurricanes look poised to win a championship this season. How do you feel about this one, Joey? We'll let you start this one out there. How do you feel about this one here? Are you in or are you mother, father, and out?
We've had so many painful fan moments on this episode, and this is about to be mine because unfortunately, I want so badly to say it, but I can't. I am out. Oh my God, dude, it pains me so much. But the Carolina Hurricanes, they're good and they'll make a deep run in the playoffs, but they're going to hit the buzzsaw that is the Boston Bruins. My God, that team is stacked. They are so good. And right now they currently sit at a 24% chance to win it all. And at this point in the year, that's actually the highest that Vegas has ever rated a team to win the Stanley Cup. And so like it's honestly deserved. Like the Carolina Hurricanes I've been a fan of the Carolina Hurricanes for so long. And you know, they've done so many good things to build up to get to that pinnacle again, like they did in 2006. But truly, like it's one of those things that I just don't think that the Bruins, as good as an overall team as they are, and they're only getting better because they're healthier, I just don't think that the Carolina Hurricanes have enough depth to get through that buzzsaw that is the Bruins. I think in a 7-game series, the Bruins are going to win 4 of those games. It'll probably go to 7, but they're definitely going to win that series. And it hurts real bad, but unfortunately, that the Bruins are just too good.
Drew, you're muted.
Oh, wow. Thank you for helping me out there. I don't know how I was, but thank you for that. Hey, when it comes to this, do you agree with Joseph here? Are you out or are you in?
Before I make my statement, let me just do this first.
Concerned.
Oh boy. His Whalers shirt. All right. I was really tempted to wear my Whalers gear because I do have some.
That's what we're talking about. So so I am out. I am out. First off, Joey said the right thing. That they're not the Boston Bruins. But the second reason I am out is because it's just the way the question is asked. And anybody who's watched hockey knows that to win the Stanley Cup playoffs, if you tell me who's going to win the Stanley Cup right now, you have no idea, because that's how the Stanley Cup works. You can go in as Tampa Bay did 2 or 3 years ago when they were the best team in the league, killing everybody, and they get swept out in the first round.
Yep.
You talk about Stanley Cup playoffs, and this bodes well, and I'm gonna pick you up right here, Joey. You have a rookie goaltender going. Just ask John Sebastian Jaguar how that works. How that works out. How did that work out for Anaheim when they made their Stanley Cup run? They got in hockey, you get a hot goaltender in the playoffs, you can ride that all the way through.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, to me, if you had put anybody in that, not just the Carolina Hurricanes, if you had put anybody in there and said they're definitely going to win the Stanley Cup, they're poised to win the Stanley Cup, I would say I'm out, because that's the Stanley Cup playoffs. Anybody can win. I don't care what seed you are, you can win the cup from any seed. We've seen it happen way too many times.
No, you're absolutely right. You guys definitely crushed it here with the final round, and that's why I have to agree with you, Adam. I'm out on this as well. Except for I'm going to take a different twist with
What?
a different mother-father twist with
What?
I've been waiting all episode for this.
What?
Hesitation on the internet.
What?
I don't know what happened.
What?
We are back here off the road.
What?
As we look in this moment right here for the Carolina Hurricanes, when was the last time this team won an NHL championship? 2006, Joseph. 2006. And you want to sit here and take the hype, take my glasses off right now and look here and tell you they are not winning the championship this year. And I know I'm just agreeing with you guys, but we got to take it to a different level, because we can't just agree with everybody on the same page and the same tone, same monotone. We have to do it differently. And I'm telling you right now, that there's no way a mother-fathering H-double hockey sticks this team is going to win a championship this year. How do you guys feel about that?
You're right.
I look. You're not going to get any. You're not going to get any arguments from me. Nothing makes me happier than watching Carolina lose.
I mean,
just the way I am. And for that, we had this the last time when I was in the chat. We had our back and forth, and I just want to ask Joey, because Joey said something on that program that you said the Hartford Whalers, that Hartford, the city of Hartford, had a chance.
They did.
What kind of chance are you talking? Are you talking about a Dumb and Dumber kind of chance or a real chance?
No, they had a legitimate chance. No, so
nope.
hold on, time out, because I did go back and double research myself, because you're right, because I said that and then I said it and then had a thought of like, what if I was wrong? And so I went back and deep dived research, and they had the opportunity so long as they built them a new arena in 1996. They went back and they debated. And the reason that Harvard did not get to keep the Whalers was over a dispute over $45 million to circumvent the money that they were going to lose while they built the new arena. Now, the reason why I get so mad at people who disrespect the Hurricanes because they took the Whalers away, to me, the reason I get so mad at that is because the Whalers' all-time record was 534 wins, 709 losses, and 177 overtimes. So to me, they're a losing franchise. Not only are they a losing franchise, but their all-time average, and I just looked this up from the NHL. Oh, goodness. The actual NHL statistics from their website. At the time that the Harvard Whalers existed, they averaged 13,867 of their average attendance. They only averaged over 14,000 as far as their average attendance 2 times in their franchise's history. To give some context, the average attendance in every NHL arena during that time was 18,250. They were the lowest attended franchise in all of hockey during their period in Hartford. So to sit there and disrespect the Hurricanes because they took your Whalers away, no, they didn't. Hartford got rid of the Whalers because of the fact that they did not support their team.
Hold on. That's where the disagreement comes in. Because let me read you a quote. From the owner of and I can't even pronounce this guy's name, Carmanos or whatever the owner. So he buys the Whalers, and he tells the fans, "Look, I totally agree with you that the powers that be in Hartford didn't want to pay taxpayer money. I get all of that, but here's what the owner told the fans. He said, if you meet a 70% full arena, we will stay until 1998. We will give you till 1998. Here's a quote. Despite the ownership group raising ticket prices by 20%, the Whalers faithful were able to reach the goal to stay in Hartford until at least 1998. And here's why I have a problem. I don't have a problem with Carolina. I don't have a problem with Carolina fans. I have a problem with the owner. Because Carmanos basically reneged on his promise to keep the team in town and left after 2 years. You know what that is? That's a lie. You lied straight to our face and said, if you show up, we'll stay until a certain time. 2 years into that agreement, you bailed on us. That's what I have a problem with. I don't have a problem with them leaving Hartford. Look, Hartford is garbage. Hartford is a garbage city. It is one of the worst cities in America. I have no problem with them wanting to leave. What I have a problem with is you saying, we're going to stay until this time, and if you meet such and such requirements, we will stay. They were not met. They were exceeded by the fan base, and you bailed anyway. That's called lying. You lied to us straight to our face. That's why I have a problem with That's why I had a problem with the move. It wasn't that they moved. It's that they lied to us. It's like when Seattle, when the guy bought the Seattle Supersonics and was like, no, I'm not going to move the team. And then a year later, he moves the team. If you're going to move, just tell us, yeah, we're going to move because your city sucks. I would have said, yeah, I would have been right there with you. And I'll do this for Drew because I have a. All right, so remember when Jericho was a heel in WWE, and he would come out and he would just insult every city that they were in.
Kind of like this.
Would you please shut the hell up?
Kind of like that.
But he would say it going in. He would say going in, like let's say they were going to Toronto. He would go, "Oh, why are we here in Toronto? This place sucks." Well, so I'm at Raw in Hartford with my buddies, and we're all sitting there. We're in one section, and he starts going off. Why are we in Hartford? This place is a dump, blah, blah. And he's going off, and everybody's booing him. The whole crowd's booing him. I look over to my buddy Gino. Rest in peace, Gino. I look at him, and I go, Gino, he's not wrong. And the guy in front of us the guy in front of us was booing him out of his mind. All of a sudden, he turns around and just starts cracking up in front, and he's like, yeah, you're right. Everybody's booing him, but our section is just cracking up because we're like, he's telling the truth about Hartford sucks. It does. So I have no problem with them wanting to leave to make money and to get better. But just don't tell us, hey, we'll stay till 98 if you meet these goals. Oh, you met them? By the way, we're leaving in 96. Stay true.
So 25 years later, Dietz, you're still – it still would have happened. 2 more years. Right? It was still inevitable that 25 years later.
Again, I'm not bitter.
You're upset about being 27.
I'm not bitter about the move. 25. I'm bitter about being lied to. I don't care that you moved the team. Just don't lie to my face and say, oh, if you show up, we'll stay. But then when we do, oh, you came, that's awesome, but we're leaving anyway. Bye.
So you're pointing at them and doing this.
You know, liar.
I mean, that's literally what you're doing. You're pointing at them and saying this to where you also need to say this.
You should know your role and shut your mouth.
Because of all people, Dietz is this.
Come after me. I'm a man. I'm 40.
You know, on a weekly basis, I will be there.
I'll be back.
Because just like we said at the beginning of this episode, we have...
I think I got my swagger back. Oh.
As we have now gone through the 5 rounds of this show. Guys, let us know in the comments how you feel about this. Will the Carolina Hurricanes be poised to win a championship this season? Do you agree with all of us being out on that? It's going to be a hard argument for someone to actually be in on that statement. Guys, with that being said, before we get to the mayhem culmination of the comments, we have to acknowledge something, and that is the Vault of Fame.
Acknowledge me.
It is time to acknowledge the Vault of Fame of the In or Out Sports Debate. And we have to start it off with someone who has legendary music. And that legendary music is this.
Woo!
As currently a 16-time Vault of Fame inductee running into this show, he is a Virginia Tech alumni. The man, the myth, and the legend as the current contributor of the LegacyMaker Sports Network. He is my former Geek Squad brethren. He is the good old JR of this show. He is Shohei Raymond, is now a 17-time Vault of Fame inductee of this show. With episode mother-fathering 90, Shohei Raymond is now a 17-time Vault of Fame inductee. Let's give him his moment of musical silence. And now,
of every man, I am a real American. Fight for what's right, fight for your life.
And now it's time for the first time in the Vault of Fame history. It is time to induct someone new into the Vault of Fame. Chris Dietz is now locked into the vault for the first time with episode 90. The Real American is now locked in the vault for the first of many times, hopefully, of this show, and 90th episode of this show. As we now have to acknowledge the leaderboard, the Vault of Fame leaderboard. Shohei Raymond is in first place with 17 appearances. The Ric Flair of the leaderboard here with 17 appearances. Rob Johnson in second place with 14. Jarrell Owens, D.O. in third place with 5. James Brown, Corey Mann, Kyle Nash, P. Alexander, Wally tied for 4th with 4 appearances apiece. And in fifth with 3 appearances apiece, Dwayne Allen, Michael Bish, Brian Snow, Cody Stewart, Lamont Thomas, and Brian H. Waters tied for 5th place with 3 appearances. And 7 panelists tied for 2 appearances apiece. Guys, you can check us out as we have episode 90 right here. We are back with this show that we have to bring these guys back for, as we are ready to rock and roll with Dietz's theme music in the background. We have one final thing left.
I do have to warn you, Drew. Just be careful playing this song. YouTube will kick you out in Russia.
Playing this song. Russia will be all right for this one.
When I first came on YouTube, I play this song as my intro because I have the radio show. So I didn't know anything about this on YouTube. So I just played the entrance song because I was like, all right, this is my entrance song. I got hit by YouTube the next day. Your your stream is banned in certain countries, and I look it up. The only country it was banned in was Russia.
Well, the beautiful part of that is YouTube gives you tools now where you can cut it out and then resubmit it when that happens, to where you just cut that part of the show out. So I mean, it's no big deal. We'll be all right.
I just felt so much pride in it. I was like, we got banned in Russia. Woo!
But for Dietz, for his first appearance on episode 90, I had to do it and bring the Real American in here, as that is your theme. Guys, we only got one thing left to do, and that is we got to acknowledge the comments before we go into the final word. And the comments from the fans that we have here, starting off with salute also to you, Joey and Dietz. Well, thank you, Snowman, for saluting them. But you know what? You didn't salute me, so I'm offended, Snowman. Why did you not salute your sports sensei brethren? Get it together. I'm going to send you this clip. I still love you, Snowman. All right, back to Ryan.
Bow to your sensei.
Yeah.
Do you want to get a roundhouse to somebody wearing these pants?
Absolutely. Bow to your mother, father, and sensei, brother. All right. I'm going with former forward, NHL forward Joey Janot as the best to wear number 90. The dude scored 156 goals and 416 assists in the NHL, and he built his own airplane.
What?
That's a good one.
Ooh. I did not know that he built his own airplane, but that is a good one.
That's pretty dope there, Ryan McCoffey. Thank you for that that part of sports history, because I didn't know that. So that was good to know that. That's why it's great for the comments from the fans that you could teach us something too as well. Maybe we can kind of rebut against our own statement from earlier in the show. Ike doesn't give a fuck is back with TJ Watt is the best at 90. Not yet.
Not yet. You still got a little work to do.
So because of not yet, we have to give you this.
Hell to the no, to the no, no, no. Hell no, to the no.
So come on, Ike, you got to get it together with that. It's not quite time for TJ Watt to be best at 90 yet. Guys, I just said to Snowman, sometime I get fired up and I want to tell Drew, Joey, and Dietz I am very sorry. Mick, it's okay.
It's all good, man.
You said you were sorry earlier. We're with you. It's okay. Like you're good. You're still the comment cop. You can be the comment cop, but it's kind of hypocritical if you're kind of cussing out there. If I give you the title of the comment cop, which is what I gave you last night with episode 89. So just calm down. It's okay, Mick. Just calm down out here in these streets, and you can still be a super fan of this show. I still give you the rights to that. It's all good. If I am awesome, Ike, you cannot. The truth. I don't know if a man is drinking or not. It's okay. And we'll go on to Mr. McCoffey. The two teams with the greatest regular seasons over, Detroit 1996 and Tampa Bay in 2019, did not win the Stanley Cup. And forgive me for being a homer, but there's a team in New Jersey poised to win the Cup. The Devils. Do you guys think the Devils are poised to win the Cup?
Again, like Dietz said, the comment, the way that it's written is a loaded question, because technically you could be either in on every single team or out on every single team. Because in theory, yes, every team that's in the playoff could look poised to win a championship, because they all, like Dietz said, once you hit that playoff, it's a brand new season. We saw it last year in Major League Baseball with the Padres and the Phillies making it as far as they did. Nobody saw that coming. So it's just a matter of who gets hot when that clock, starts on the playoffs, man. It really, the question could go either way for every single team. It doesn't matter, because the question could be flipped no matter what.
You're absolutely right with
and
that.
Rangers fan here. No, I'm not saying the Devils will win anything. I'm not doing that. It's not happening. I'm not going to hear those words come out of my mouth. I don't even care if they win the Stanley Cup. I'm not saying Devils win the Stanley Cup. That's not happening.
Now, we have one final comment to acknowledge in this show. Ike doesn't give a fuck is back with Washington Capitals. Winning it all. Before you guys even comment, I want to say this.
What?
I want to say,
What?
Ike, what are you talking about?
What?
Sammy's getting
Say
picked.
what again? Say what again?
Even the crowd feels the same. For you to even diverge our time into Washington Capitals are winning it all, I have to say that.
That's terrible.
Followed by
Damn!
with a little bit of this.
Ain't nobody care. Who cares? Ain't nobody care.
That's kind of like somebody staring in my face and saying that. And I'm sorry if it's not working out for you, bruh, but it's this way.
You can't handle the truth.
Because in so many countries right now, if we are still viewable when it comes to Washington Capitals winning it all, people are definitely saying
Hell to the no, to the no, 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 no. Hell no, no, to the no, no.
there are so many teams in the league, Ike, that are looking at the Capitals in their face and saying
You
this.
may claim to be the best in the world, but I'm better than you. And you know it.
There are so many motherfather people laughing at you right now. Because at the end of this.
But we talking about practice, man. What are we talking about? Practice? We're talking about practice, man. We're talking about practice. We're talking about.
There is not enough of that can make you become a Stanley Cup champion this year at 34 and 35.
Stay off the weed.
Because at the end of each and every single loss this year, Ike, for your beloved Washington Capitals, they are saying this in the press conference after every mother, father, and single loss.
That's why we took the damn field. Now, if you want to crown them, then crown their ass. But they are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
Because when teams beat you, Ike, it is kind of like being on the other end of this.
Rob kicked it. Looks like Boucher knocked him out cold.
And you want to come after us, Ike?
What?
I said you want to come after us.
What?
You seem to be waiting to come across us and come after us, Ike.
What?
I'm sorry, but you're not going to get to us.
What?
Sammy is getting so upset over here.
Say what again? Say what again?
When it comes to the comments in these chats that are live, I'm about to do this to you.
Yeah!
But your name is so legendary, as I don't give a fuck, that I have to leave it here for the short term being. So when it comes to that, will you please, when it comes to these outrageous outtakes, will you please just do
Would you please shut the hell up?
Because there is no way in mother, father, in hell that you are going to end up in this situation.
What's that? Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs?
You will not even be able to have that conversation of playoffs with the Capitals this season. Don't make me get Dietz up here to say that.
Come after me. I'm a man. I'm 40.
Because we are back for episode 90 as we have great comments here and there. And Mick says, slow your roll, Ike. Well, thank you for the contribution to the show there, Mick. We all appreciate you guys out there with the comments that we have had throughout this great episode 90. We've only got one thing left to do, and that is go to the final word, and we'll go ahead and take it there. And Dietz, for your first time in the final word, this is basically where everything that we discussed throughout this show, all 5 rounds, just anything in sports or entertainment, wrestling as well, you could throw in there if you'd like. In general, this is your final word of the show. Go ahead and let it loose here there, Dietz. What is your final word for episode 90, my brother?
My final word for all the crap I just gave to the great city of Hartford. We are the land of champions. National championship, UConn Huskies are the greatest basketball team, the greatest college basketball team in the last 25 years. 5 national championships. That's 20% of the tournaments played. UConn has won them. There is not another team within 3 titles of us in that span. And not only have they done it with 5 championships, 3 different head coaches. Again, not another program can say that. So it's not the coach. It's not the players. It's the program. UConn is winning championships. You throw the women's championship in there, and the numbers are absolutely insane. UConn, the kings of college basketball. That's what we do.
Absolutely. That was a great final word from Dietz to have there. And Joey, how about you for everything we discussed within the show? You being a 16-time Vault of Fame inductee, you were not shy of this. Now 17-time officially.
Right.
How do you feel for your final word here, brother?
Honestly, I just want to thank Dietz for coming on, man. It was kind of last minute for us to pull this together, but that was fun. I don't really have much this time, but I'm excited to see what the Carolina Hurricanes do. Dietz is right. UConn is crazy. But hopefully my Hokies can get some success. There's speaking of absolute jokes of programs that ours was this year. Ours was a complete joke. But definitely this has been fun. I'm really looking forward to maybe doing this again. This was a good time.
Definitely was. You guys had some great final words there, and I'm going to go ahead and take it into mine here. And with mine, I'm going to go ahead and have a little bit of music at this. Hadn't thrown a little bit of that out there yet, because that's Joseph's favorite wrestlers. He was only been to one event, but Joseph loves this character right here. It's Seth freaking Rollins, who I actually have a t-shirt of, and I'm looking forward to going to WrestleMania 40 next year in Philadelphia. Back on track here. Final word. Guys, I know I've been animated throughout this show because it's been my job to get animated. But I want to tell you all, thank you all for being here for episode 90 of the In or Out Sports Debate. We've had a great time in this show. Dietz has definitely been a great guest. Definitely look forward to having him back on here on the show again at some point, maybe a trios, just me and him, whatever. Dietz definitely absolutely crushed it. I want that for the archives. I want the hamburger helper eating mother fathers out there to take this in, soak it up. Dietz is a great competitor out here in the debate world and deserves to come on back, and we'll discuss that and get him back on here soon. Hopefully before episode 100. We are getting there as we are at 90 episodes right now. I want to take my final word and give praise as we had a great Vault of Fame at the beginning of this show. Looking at the first 89 episodes, we are now gone through 90. Easter is tomorrow. Happy Easter to everybody. Stay safe out there in these streets because it is a lot of driving going on out there. A lot of crazy mother fathers out there driving, getting their Easter eggs in a hatch. Well, I'm going to go ahead and bring my guys back up here for the Roll On Out edition, because we only have one more thing left to do, and that is look at one badass outro. For JR, Joey Raymond, the 17-time Vault of Fame inductee. For Chris Dietz, the Fifth Down Sports Show, I am Drew Willingham. Everybody, as always, stay safe out there in these streets.